Heavyweights in our main event. Michael Coffie out of Brooklyn, 35 years of age, 12-0 with 9 knockouts, taking on late sub Jonnie Rice out of Columbia, South Carolina. Rice subbing for Gerald Washington, who tested positive for COVID. Yes, we're still dealing with that. But Rice tries to make the most of his opportunity. He has fought rising stars before, Efe Ajagba, Dempsey McKean, undefeated fighters, a combined record of 30-0. He did not get wins in those fights, but fought very credibly, so he gets a shot here against Michael Coffie. And let's take a look at tonight's Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Credible. I didn't mean to do that. Michael Coffie's 35. Again, he only started boxing at the age of 30. Jonnie Rice is 34. Both are big men, 6'5", about 270. Slight reach advantage for Michael Coffie. Rice is the more experienced pro, but Coffie, again, is a quick learner. He's made incredible progress late to the sport, now on an accelerated schedule, and gets his first main event. Jonnie Rice getting ready to go. And we're here in Newark, New Jersey, and it's time for the main event here on Fox.
All right.
When you step in that ring, you got to really want it. It's an opportunity of a lifetime for him.
From Los Angeles, Jonnie Rice.
This is the fight that I want to see right here. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt.
It's a slugfest.
What a punch. He means business.
Jonnie Rice coming in. Lennox Lewis, no robe. I mean, Tyson even came out with a towel.
Yeah.
And Jonnie Rice, no robe. I mean, it's a nice warm summer day in New Jersey, but no robe for Jonnie Rice. You know, Rice has fought prospects before. I mentioned Efe Ajagba, Dempsey McKean. He lost both of those fights, but he did not perform poorly in those fights. He was in there, he was involved, and Lennox, he said that, hey, there's something in me that I held back a bit against the higher level of opposition. I'm tired of losing these big fights. I'm not going to hold back, sink or swim tonight.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, you know, have that in his mind, because you learn from other fights, and he's learned from his fights. So this is what disappointed him when he watched himself fight. So now he wants to prove it to himself that he can get started a lot quicker.
Big man, again, a little more experienced than Michael Coffie, who's very late to the game. Rice 13-6-1. Again, a full 6'5". He's 34 years old. He gets a big opportunity tonight in going up and getting in the main event here on national television. Time now for Michael Coffie.
Coffie served 8 years with the Marines. He's 34 years old. He is on the rise.
He'll turn right-handed, left-handed. He's slicker than you might think.
He's just busting up Luis Pena with everything. Big exchange, and Pena's hurt. Oh, and another hook. That's enough. It's over. Good body shot there by Coffie.
Whoa!
Oh, big hook, and down goes Rock.
There's another.
Oh, and that hook puts him down again. And there is an impressive knockout from Michael Coffie.
And this has been a meteoric rise for Michael Coffie. Only a year ago made his TV debut. This is the first time that he's fought on Fox or FS1 on national TV in front of fans. So he is all pandemic through all of these fights, but he's made such startling progress that he earns his way into a main event. Again, he was supposed to fight Gerald Washington, who is a heavyweight gatekeeper. Instead, he's more of the main name in the main event. But I think people, Joe Goosen, are going to be very pleased with what they see with Michael Coffie in the ring.
This is his biggest ring walk, by the way. Okay, and let me tell you something. He's soaking it all in. But you know, I really, you know, when I encourage my fighters when they walk into the ring, not to, you know, look around in the crowd, pay attention to people, just focus on where you're going. But he's a focused man, so I'm really not worried about that. But this is a big night for Michael Coffie, and this is one that could propel him to the very next level, which is a good spot to be.
An extremely disciplined fighter. Again, coming out of the Marines, his ability to compartmentalize is incredible. It has really fueled his rise. He is 12-0 now. He is 35, but a rising heavyweight star. Here's Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Prudential Center here in Newark, New Jersey, Premier Boxing Champions presents the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by TGB Promotions in association with King's Promotions and sponsored by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. Introducing our three judges, once again scoring from ringside, James Kinney, John McKay, and John Signorelli. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in our heavyweight special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Newark, New Jersey, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, hailing from Columbia, South Carolina, he enters the ring wearing white trunks with blue and red trim. He weighed in at 268 1/2 pounds with a record of 13 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. He has 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Jonnie Rice. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in our 10-round main event, wearing black trunks with silver trim, fighting out of and representing Brooklyn, New York. He weighed in at 271 1/4 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 12 wins, no losses, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former U.S. Marine and the undefeated world rank contender, introducing Michael P.A.N. Coffie. Once again, our referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Eric Dali.
Okay, gentlemen, you already know the rules. I want to remind you to keep it clean, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Well, double duty Dali. He had the last fight, and he's got the next one. Hey, tonight's odds are provided by Fox Bet. If you place $100 on the favorite, that's Michael Coffie, you'd win $5 with a payout of $105. So he's a big favorite here. $100 on the underdog, Jonnie Rice, you'd win $750, the payout of $850. So Jonnie Rice with a big opportunity. Bones Adams, former world champion, is in his corner. Michael Coffie, PAN, by the way, stands for Punish All Negativity. He is a thinking man there in the ring, and we're underway in round number 1. Coffie in the black trunks says he wants to jab a lot more in this fight, Lennox. He is nimble. He'll go from orthodox to lefty. But he is a man who learns on the job.
Oh, absolutely, and that's what he's doing right now, especially the first round. He loves to take care of his guy by, figuring him out, let his guy throw a little bit more punches so he could see what he's doing.
And if you saw the fight with Jonnie Rice against Efe Ajagba, who is a rising heavyweight star in his own right, you saw he was able to neutralize Ajagba. A lot of people criticized Ajagba in that fight. Good right hand by Rice. But Joe Goosen, he was unable to really make any hay and punish Ajagba and win rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Rice is he's a very clever boxer. He's got great legs. He's got good vision, good reflexes. And he's going to make life difficult, see? And that's what I mean right by him. He's a good fighter.
That's a nice long right hand by Jonnie Rice.
But the thing about Coffie is he's got that great power. And if he hits you clean, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, in his last fight, we saw that in the 3rd round. He threw an uppercut and was able to drop Darmani Rock, who was undefeated coming into that fight, 17-0. And then with a hook, he was able to finish him off in round 3. And that was an undefeated heavyweight who had a lot more experience than Michael Coffie.
Yeah, Coffie loves to take his time and kind of figure out his opponent. And that's what he's doing right now. He's using the first round to do that.
Watch the back
right
of the
hand to the body, lands for Coffie. Again, a man who starts boxing seriously at the age of 30 has a lot of time to make up, and ordinarily, Lennox, you're just unable to do it. Even Deontay Wilder, who started late, started at the age of 19, not 30.
Right, and it's always difficult to start late, but, you know, Coffie was in the Army for, the Marines for a while, and he came out very disciplined, went straight to work.
Good crisp right hand again by Jonnie Rice.
Picked up a lot of his skills in training camp with Deontay.
Jonnie Rice looks good here in this first round. We got about 50 seconds left. Coffie, by the way, Lennox, you mentioned it. He said his fellow Marines, the 2nd Combat Engineer Battalion, said when they learned that he was fighting professionally, they said, well, that makes sense. So I guess he got a little fighting in with the Marines, too.
Yeah, Jonnie Rice threw a good overhand right, which Coffie rolled with. He needed to roll and come back, but that was great.
You're right. He got hip to it after getting clipped twice with it, and then he got his left hand up last time. He's going to have to put on pressure. Unlike a Jogbo when he fought Rice, he just kind of plodded at him, and Rice was able to box and move. He wasn't winning rounds, but let me just tell you something. He showed a great defense. Here he's showing both.
I'll tell you, Jonnie Rice has landed, 2 or 3 signature shots. He may have taken round 1. So he comes out here, last-minute sub. But Jonnie Rice, good outing here so far.
Yours. Take him off his game, all right? Work him.
Tonight's Quarter Cam is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Jose Aguilar there in the corner with Michael Coffie. But for a last-minute sub, and again, he took this fight on just a couple of days' notice. Jonnie Rice with a nice first round. Lennox, what did you think?
Hey, let me tell you, Jonnie Rice boxed from distance, and he's a little bit more warmed up. If you noticed, he came in, he was sweating, but he wasn't wearing no rope, so he was warmed up in the dressing room. So that's an advantage going into the first round because you're warmed up better than your opponent. Your opponent is warming up, and that's Coffie. So let's see if he's warmed up in that first round and see what he can do in the second round.
Michael Coffie coming out in the southpaw stance already and lands with a straight left hand, straight up the middle. Normally, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael Coffie's a little more active and animated. So far, he's a little flat in this fight.
Well, listen, no, because he's in there with the legit guy who's been around. He's fought on, all the continents, as they say. And he's got a lot of experience. You can tell he's a very savvy fighter, Jonnie Rice, like that.
Good counter right hand,
counter. He's doing it. It's going to take some work for Coffie to track him down, put some pressure on him, and get close to him. Because right now, Rice is winning the game of distance.
Well, the idea, though, against Joey Abel and against Armani Rock was the same thing, where, all right, here's a little more experienced guy to face. How will he do? And Coffie was so impressive. I think a lot of us, I did anyway, expected Coffie to come here and just, show his class immediately. But immediately running into a lot of resistance in Jonnie Rice.
And you see Rice kind of walking Coffie down, which is it's really a role reversal. And it's not what Rice does. He likes to box and move like he did against a Jogba, but he might be making a mistake.
That's a good left hand.
Walking to Coffie.
I know. It's amazing because a lot of guys will switch to southpaw and they don't have the same type of power, but Coffie has a very nice left power hand from behind.
Yeah, he throws his good left, but he's got to come back with that right hook if he's going to do that.
A minute to go here in round number 2, scheduled for 10. Right hand there by Jonnie Rice.
That right hand was pretty much parried by Coffie. You got to remember, in a southpaw stance, it takes a little bit longer distance to get that right hand landed. I think that's why Coffie turned southpaw, because it's harder to catch you, because the shoulder is back now. Okay, you're not so close to the right hand.
Rice had quality sparring in Las Vegas. He was sparring in Bones Adams' gym. Again, Bones Adams, former world champion at 122 pounds, sparring with the guys like Michael Hunter. Said he even got a few rounds in with Tyson Fury before Fury's fight with Wilder was called off. So he's had quality, and there's a good hook by Jonnie Rice. Now he tries to follow up. He said he didn't want to hold back. Here's his chance.
And that's true. He said in his last past fights, he's been holding back. In this fight, he didn't want to hold back.
That was a good right hand, Lennox. Rice again, just pause him there and just pause him with the hook, but it gives Coffie something to think about. And another hook by Jonnie Rice. Jonnie Rice coming up from Columbia, South Carolina on short notice, making his presence known in New Jersey. And Michael Coffie, his work rate is down. He usually averages 44 punches per round. He's averaging 24 per round. Now, Joe, Lennox, I know that really is dictated by what your opponent is doing. But it's not like Jonnie Rice is so busy in there, so formidable. He could throw his hands, but he's been a different guy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to go for it. And sometimes you got to go and say, let me beat up this guy. Let me just go in there and punch him out and forget about the boxing aspect and bring on the boxing aspect later. But that's what Coffie needs to do. He needs to step it up a little bit more and, you know, put Rice on the ropes. See how Rice reacts on the ropes.
1,000% correct. And I think Coffie got those instructions in his corner because when he came out of the chute real fast. And then, of course, again, Rice flipped it on him and backed him into the ropes and landed some good shots. So that was a very short-lived effort.
Right now, Rice is comfortable. He's comfortable in the middle of the ring. He's not being pressured. You know, he can use his reach and he can use his quickness. And there's no pressure on him whatsoever, so he can think and do what he wants.
Yeah, Michael Coffie said this week, look, I'm going to make the ring smaller on him. I need to add a little more variety to my offense. He thought that Rice was kind of a survivor. But Rice said, look, I'm tired of losing to these top guys. I'm in these fights, and he was in those fights against Ajagba and Dempsey McKean, but he has definitely learned something. He's had good sparring, and he just looks better here. That said, Michael Coffie has real power in both hands.
Let me tell you, he was landing right hands against Ajagba, too, but these right hands look a lot more solid. I think he's in better shape for this fight. And look, he's actually looking for a knockout here. Every time he throws a punch, they're coming in hard and fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting his body behind that right hand.
Yeah.
So even when he misses, his body's still coming forward.
To your point, Lennox, well, there's a wild left hand by Coffie, just missing, but Jonnie Rice looks comfortable, to your point, Lennox. He is calm in there, and he's not exerting so much energy and losing energy or steam in this fight. Because he's going to have to be in it for the long haul. These are 10 long rounds.
That's right. We're not even at the halfway point yet. And let me tell you, Coffie can crack. All he needs is one or two.
Wow, interesting fight so far. Jonnie Rice picking up his game. Again, said, hey, I don't wish COVID on anybody, but in the back of my mind, I was an alternate for this fight. And when I heard Gerald Washington was out, they called me. He said, hey, I have to be ready. And I'm going to be ready and take this opportunity. And here he is in the main event. And he's fighting well.
Yeah, let me tell you, what Coffie's not doing is shuffling. He needs to shuffle forward to gain his distance and put Rice against the ropes. He's not doing that right now.
He's normally on his toes, Lennox.
Yeah.
I mean, normally he's a nimble, big guy. He keeps saying that, but he's flat-footed tonight. You're right.
He's very flat-footed. I'm very surprised at Coffie being flat-footed, but I think that may be the left-hand style.
5 seconds, gentlemen.
Final seconds, Jonnie Rice fighting very well. Main event, Michael Coffie, Jonnie Rice. And so far it has been not all Jonnie Rice, but Lennox, mostly Jonnie Rice.
Yeah, Jonnie Rice has been throwing that long overhand reach right hand, and it caught, as you can see, he reached him and got him with a overhand right. So Coffie has to really keep his hands up, especially after he throws a combination, because Rice is there to answer the punches.
And guys, this is what I love about boxing. It's a meritocracy. There's a guy that's supposed to win, but the other guy has a story and a life too. Just like James Martin against Vito Milnicki, you get out there and you earn it, well, you can get something. And Jonnie Rice comes out from Colombia. Nobody's cheering for him, but he looks good in the ring. You can control that, Joe Goosen, and he looks sharp here where he wasn't supposed to have a chance.
And I got to give credit where credit's due, too. He's also with the former champion, Bones Adams, who's doing a great job. He's got his own gym in Vegas. I've been to it. It's a sweat box, and it's for real guys, and he's there working. So there's a good tandem, and there's a good team going over there in that corner.
And Joe, if he's sparring with Tyson Fury, even a few rounds, he didn't make a lot of that, but also Michael Hunter. Good shots there by Rice, and Coffie looks hurt. Well, he's getting excellent sparring, and now he's just laying the wood to Coffie. How about this?
Coffie did a good thing there by rolling with the punches. He has to roll with the punches. That means he's not catching the punches 100%.
Good warning there as he got wild.
Coffie is a very strong-minded guy too, as well physically. Two-tour veteran Marine. He didn't get through that because he doesn't have a big heart.
No, he's a strong guy mentally and physically. There's no question. He's resilient. Good body shot there by Coffie. However, you can get outboxed, and I have to say he looks a little flatter tonight than when we've seen him previously.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good mention because he needs to punch to the body instead of headhunting all the time. Rice has a body there, and he could slow him down because this is a 10-round fight. This is how you have to be in a fight. You got to break a guy down. First you break his body down, then the head will fall.
Slapping right hand there by Michael Coffie in the black trunks. Let's go to Marcos Villegas. Marcos, it seems like Jonnie Rice is winning these rounds, is he?
Yeah, he is. I have this fight 30-27 at this point. Michael Coffie's not working. He's loading up on his punches, hoping that one of these shots will get through. Meanwhile, Rice is racking up points, landing clean, effective punches to the head in the scoring zone. So I got him up, even though I got to add that last round was a really close round. So we could see maybe Coffie winning that round 3 on one of the judges' scorecards.
Marcos, thank you very much. I always like Marcos' sensibility on those things. And again, if we put that in yellow, that means it's a close round. A judge could reasonably have it either way. Big right hand by Rice, although you're right, Coffie does sort of roll his head back and roll with those shots. But it could be, again, it could easily be 3 rounds to 0, Jonnie Rice. How about that? Right hand again, Coffie tried to close the gap. Again, these guys are the same size. This is 6'5", 270 versus 6'5", 270, and Jonnie Rice looks like he is in shape.
Yeah, I mean, Coffie's receiving these punches when he shouldn't. He really should keep his hands up or roll with the punches and come back.
Well, the fact is he's getting hit with them, but on the other hand, it's very discouraging for the guy that's throwing these big bombs and not putting the guy down on his back.
5 seconds, gentlemen.
You know, he's saying, what was it going to take to hurt this guy?
There's a long way to go here in Newark.
Yeah.
Let's go, coach.
And there is Jonnie Rice here in Newark, New Jersey, and he has looked good so far through 4 rounds here in the main event.
Here's something that's been happening tonight. Good right hands and left hooks landed by Rice, and looks to follow up with the uppercut and lands it.
And here you see Rice leading with the right hand, catching Coffie straight in the face. Coffie didn't see that. He looked at it all the way and didn't block it.
Jonnie Rice firing back there. He took a good body shot. Coffie is, Lennox, to your point I think you made in the previous round, in round 4, Coffie is making the investment to the body, outlanding Jonnie Rice to the body so far in this fight.
See, but yeah, I will tell you something. Rice walked back to his corner like it was a little winded. That's a good right hand. But
another one. And a look. And then a right hand again by Jonnie Rice.
Jonnie Rice is teeing off on Coffie right now with 3 right hands in a row. Coffie needs to open up or put that left hand up and stop that.
Coffie's going to keep trying to come back. I don't count this guy out. He's taken everything Rice is throwing. Rice is getting a little winded. I saw him whack back to the corner, tired. And look, Coffie's got to keep some pressure on, though. He can't sit on the outside and wait for that.
And the right hand again in a hook. Good combinations. But to your point, Joe, you see the mouth is open from Jonnie Rice. But, of course, he's moving his hands, too. Throwing that big sledgehammer right hand.
Of course, Coffie landed a good counter left hook after those 3-4 punches that Rice threw. And let me tell you, it's discouraging to hit guys with these type of shots and have a guy keep coming at him.
That's a good jab right hand, though, on Coffie on the way in. Coffie was starting just to walk him down, and Jonnie Rice said, no, you're going to pay for that.
You're right.
Yeah, but when he's doing that, he's using up a lot of energy. Is Rice going to have the energy going down the line?
There's a little swelling there on the left eye, under the left eye of Michael Coffie, and another right hand landed by Jonnie Rice, and he follows up with a hook. That eye is starting to close up. I mean, it's a long way to go, but he is starting to do damage to Coffie's face.
Coffie, I don't know if he can lift up that hand or what, but he just shouldn't get these right hand punches.
Look at his combinations.
It's like he can't see the right hand coming.
I tell you right now, Jonnie Rice looks like Buster Douglas. I mean, right now he's just like throwing these 3-punch combinations. You're saying, where's that coming from? A right hand by Jonnie Rice. Wow, and he's asked by the referee, are you all right? Another right hand hurts Coffie. Coffie getting chopped down. Now he's hurt. Coffie is hurt. It's over. Wow. It's over. Jonnie Rice pulls off the upset. Eric Dali didn't like what he saw with the eye. Coffie turned away for a moment, and Jonnie Rice with the night of his life.
Great performance by Rice. Coffie tried his best. He took a horrible, hellacious beating. He was unable to come back, and do what you want to do.
Joe, he just looked flat. I don't look. It's a combination. He looked flat, and Rice looked terrific. I think both things can be true.
Let me tell you, Rice was hitting him with that right hand. After a couple right hands, you got to block it or realize you're doing something wrong. But he didn't block it. He kept on receiving those right hands. So that told me he couldn't even see it.
There's Bones Adams in the corner. Joe, I'm with you. I've seen Bones Adams do great things with fighters.
Right.
And I tell you what, that's a signature win right there. Jonnie Rice, late notice, couple of days notice.
Yeah.
From not being on the card to the main event and winning.
Incredible.
Early in the round, I mentioned the eyes started to close, but then that right hand not doing Michael Coffie any favors. And this is a tough Marine, able to take the punishment, but Jonnie Rice kept bringing it, and he's 270, Lennox, 270.
Yeah, there's 270 behind those punches, and I'm telling you, he threw a lot of right hands, and after a while, you keep tapping on a rock, that rock's gonna break.
That man is a shocking winner, Jonnie Rice. Here's Jimmy Lennon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 19 seconds in round number 5. A referee in charge, Eric Dali, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, Jonnie Rice.
Coming up out of Columbia, South Carolina, and you gotta love boxing. Jonnie Rice came in shape, had a game plan, said, I'm not gonna hold back. It's time to win one of these fights. And he did it.